The great alchemical project continues. Um, Woke up with this one this morning. I was coming out this morning. I'm like, but not the eyeball. Symbolic. You're gonna take some lumps out there on the stage. I just fell last night, bruised up here a little bit. The other one, I noticed this little piece cartilage right here is when the little white cat was pooping and peeing at the house. It was an issue. I got up at like 5 in the morning and I saw the poop and I snapped. I snatched her up and I put her nose right in that. But she got me back pretty good. She cut all this, but not the eyeball. And you know what else? After that, she stopped pooping. She just needs someone to get her attention. So that's probably like, that's what this is. Trying to get that attention for stuff that needs to be corrected on the set. I mean, that's what God would do to heal, right? This will heal. So, symbolic of what I'm doing on here, explaining my stories. And I got stories from forever. I was always like, why'd I got to go through all this shit? And it was like, so you can tell the stories. Okay. Just make sure you get a good story. No matter what I did, what I was doing, get that story. That's where the magic is, where the emotions are. It's where the magic happens, where the healing happens, right? Shit on the set, watching that forever. Eternal spirit is back there waiting, wanting for you, waiting on you. Step up and heal that emotion. That's what's interesting. That's why we're interested in each other as the living God. We're like, oh, the car crash. I'm your car crash. If you enjoy these stories. So, yeah. Go get in there and do my mixed martial jiu-jitsu. Take another shot at it. That question of all questions. Topic of all topics. How do you talk about it? I mean, with stories. See how it plays out. But I saw Taylor tuned in yesterday. And I was like, well, do I have permission to talk about that? You know, I had someone policing me the other day. Privacy. But if you worried about having privacy and all that, that means you're probably breaking the law. You're doing something that you don't want to be exposed. So we've talked about the cyclic family trauma. I mean, just pick it up anywhere in the cycle. It's a circle. It gets recycled in the families. Parent inadvertently does it to the child. Child gets wounded. Child grows up with its wounds. Does it again, inadvertently. So I mean, just jump in anywhere. But for that one, I only interacted with the mother once. We didn't even talk, but I could just pick up on her energy. She is an emotional terrorist, but also very loving, right? You gotta reel in. You know, we're all things at all times. So yeah, she's all those things, but yeah, she. And hers was because her father was domineering. He got wounded too. All that. But she did that to her son in lieu of her father. Because the child, it can't react against the parent in that moment. It's too young. And it needs the parent to survive. So that's why we do that. It's adaptive. We put that energy down here and tuck it away so we can get to it later, right? Like a tumor. Emotional tumor. But Kevin, their father, Robin's ex-husband, was doing it to them because he couldn't do it to his mother directly. He was an emotional terrorist, acting up, acting fool. Robin, and it buzzed her out, and she left. She ended up driving out to Portland to me to do that because of her wound, inadvertently wounding her own children because they were young ages, and they were like, where's my mom? Where is my mom at? That's what I had. I remember after Clark, I got to go to North and go mingle with the North all the kids that went to Roosevelt, the fancy friends. But I was like, I'm supposed to be with, these are my friends. And as I'm getting to know them, going over to their houses, and guess what? Their mom was at home. I was like, man, that's kind of, where's my mom? You know, I felt it. That wound. I had to go sit with that one. I was a teenager, but you know, to really heal that out, what was my mom doing? Just going about her life. Maybe we visited, you know, spent time there, and you know, as best as she could. She was doing as best as she could. I would have done the exact same things in her place at that time. But to do that healing of that, so you're not projecting that out onto the world, onto other people, you gotta go sit in there and make peace with it and see it from the other angle, the other side. It's not fun. I did another one of mine because I was like, it's been years since I went and sat with that one. And but you know, I was probably like 6 or 7 in Omar Circle in Yellow Springs, in my room in there, and I was listening to like Reds on the radio. The Reds, oh, a lot of mosquitoes out this season. But I heard them come home from their fancy dinner, and you know, they were tipsy, and they just went into their room. I was like, my mom's not even going to come in here and check to see if I'm in here. I was like, I could have jumped out the window. I could have run away. I was like, that's what I felt. Like, she left my dad for the money. Makes a lot of money, right? It's my other issue. But I went through her thought process as she was coming home. And it was the exact same thing that I would have done. Oh, John Boy, he's probably asleep. And if I open the door, it's just going to wake him up. So just let him sleep. That's what I would have done too. It makes sense. But the little boy in that room felt, and that's where I got that. So nobody is really doing anything to anyone. You know, we're all doing the best we can, but it results in these emotional wounds. So that's what I'm going to keep yapping about. Any way I can. Better here or better here. Yeah, that was the issue. As I analyzed their family, that's how it kept getting passed down. In all my travels, you know, I've been all over the world, been to 40-something countries, done all this stuff, but then there I was in the kitchen shuffling around with Sydney, Robin's younger daughter. I'm like, all that traveling and journey, but this is what it was all about. Like, that's where I was at. And it was purposeful, right? The external world, that's your emotional realm. That's what we're watching out here. I mean, first time I took Sydney to like a softball game, and it was like a 40-minute drive, and I had just started the diet. Today is 4 years on that. I quit eating meat and dairy and all that. I still do a little bit. Experience it. I'm not a Nazi. I want to know what it's about. But we drove for like 45 minutes. We didn't say a word. I think I might have said something at the beginning, like but we're like, no, we don't need to talk. We can communicate up there telepathically. And I know that with my sister too. We can just read each other's thoughts. Everything down here is symbolic, speaking. And things get lost in translation here. But I know my sister, we're still in communication. I talked to Jody a little bit ago, and I hid some stuff in the garage, Molly, because I thought maybe you would not notice it, and I could get in there and do another move in there. But I left my sleeping bag in my hammock. It's in a bag. It's in a box, just right in there. So I might tomorrow stop in there and get that, and then go visit Jody's property out there. Yeah, can the weather get any better? Who's controlling that? And then Robin, yeah, I told Robin I'll be in touch and get my stuff. And she's like, oh, I'll just give me your address. She wanted to know my address, and then I'll drop it off. I was like, that seems kind of ridiculously difficult and unnecessary. Do you know how heavy those boxes of books are? And that box is all falling apart. It needs taped together or something. That's why I didn't take it. That's why I decided I'm not moving this shit anymore. So I don't need that stuff. But I need my jammies. I need my comfy long sleeve shirts. Be comfortable. It might be getting a little bit cold at night here. That's what I need, really. So we can figure out how to do that. But I'll probably be down that way tomorrow on your day off, and I want to see you too. The alchemical work doesn't stop. So those are the updates for what's coming up. I'm trying to plan my life here and playing the game of life. Got a nice message from a friend who has witnessed a lot of these things down through the ages. But Leslie, she came into us when I was with Helen, and she was a friend in there, and she was like a child. So yeah, I don't have any physical children that way, but there are people that parenting, like I care about it. And so our story, I won't tell it all, but so yeah, ultimately to help. But her and I in that moment, I think we felt that. No, you don't have to give in to the fire down below. There's a higher purpose to your life than reproducing irresponsibly. I think that was the general pattern for why COVID is coming in, population control. The other thing I needed at the house was my checkbook so I could pay rent. But guess what? The guy who lived here before, he worked at Dick Sten's, bouncing the bar. He was a bar bouncer. And so he just had cash in hand. He just paid weekly, $80 a week. Cash. So I don't even need my checkbook. I thought I needed that. So I don't even need that. But I would like to have just some comfortable clothes so I don't get cold at night when I go camping tomorrow. Is that going to trigger you? Are you going to be triggered? I just got a text from Robin saying that, some other people are worried about me going crazy. Good. His car broke down outside of the insane asylum. And he's like, well, how'd I put the tire back on? And one of the crazy people in it said, why don't you just take one lug nut off the other three wheels and use those three and put that fourth wheel on, and then they'll all just have three lug nuts. And the guy's like, wow, that's really smart, man. Why are you in the insane asylum? He said, I'm crazy. I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. Might be a little bit crazy, but I'm not stupid. My dad always told that joke, and it was stuck with me. So that's where all that stuff is. Yeah, but it doesn't go away. So I will keep yapping. It's therapeutic for me, this energy thing that's coming out. I'm interested in that. I'm interested in myself. What I say on here. I'm like, I can listen to that. That's my podcast. Because I'm interested in that message. How would life heal emotional wounds? What would be involved? That kind of was the problem. That was my problem, right? I couldn't have anyone get too close. I had a neighbor when I moved to Albuquerque the second time, and I remember the landlord mentioned she's just drop dead gorgeous, and everything in my body just went zzz, and she was. And but she had a knucklehead boyfriend, and back watching that scene, and we had our opportunity we were hanging out, and we didn't. You know, I was thinking back, well, maybe we should have had done that then, and you know, but there's a higher level of communication. And her and I stayed friends over the years, and I stopped and visited her when I was driving out to Portland. And our other neighbor that lived in between came home one day, and there's like blood all over the fence and stuff out there. He come home and found his best friend having sex with his girlfriend, and he beat the shit out of him, just pounding him. But him and her stayed together after that. But that day, Mariah, me, and I forget his name, Tim, or but we all went to Walmart. We just went to Walmart, friends. So maybe this is the new age to get that friendship part down first before you get into all that stuff. You know, I mean, why would all the whole system that we're complaining about, vaccines, birth certificate, social security number, that's what that is all reflecting of, is that we're operating as children and reproducing. So it should be a little bit more conscientious about that. You know, I wouldn't mind having a child, but I knew I didn't want to bring one in to go through what I had to go through. I was like, that's irresponsible. This is nonsense. This is knucklehead shit, man. Getting jabbed and... No, you want them to be free. But you got to free yourself first. That's what Save the Children is. But, you know, don't beat yourself up now. Now you get a chance to heal those emotional relationships in your life. I was talking to Sean last night. I'm like, why am I even here? Because for that alchemical work, my sister, my girlfriend, myself, that's what I was really interested in, or am. That's what I am interested in. That's what the organism is doing. So I don't know. I don't know how you're gonna stop me from doing this, because it's coming from a good place and I'm not breaking the law. So but eventually I will just not care that. I have to detach from that, caring about the outcome. Are you going to do your energetic work? I've been going through this forever. When I first woke up to my mother's issues, I ran back out to New Mexico, told Helen, oh, this is why we're fighting. But she wasn't ready. It wasn't her time. But the system will always fish. It's life. You're curious about what's out there. You're curious about yourself. What's in you is what is in me. That's what I'm like hey. So if you get triggered and taking it personally and getting offended, well, that would be your work to do, Own up to that. Yeah, you inadvertently wounded your children because you were wounded, and your parents inadvertently wounded you. Is that really it? I would hope not. I really would hope not. I had these crazy cuts on my hands, open wounds. Symbolic. This, symbolic. Getting in there, you're going to get some blows. Of course. But, so that's where all this is at. If you're going to give your permission to be offended by anything, that's what needs to be healed. That's what it represents. Control that core. I had a test the other night. Someone wanted to get up in there and pick a fight because that was their thing. And I watched it, observed it from on high. I just laughed. I mean, it's just hysterical. So, I mean, good luck trying to beat this this new frequency that we're all. I picked up on that. People were like, man, the world is just like, all right, it's going haywire. Because it's like, hey, why are we here, right? Haywire. So this is we're just regrowing. This is death and birth, all that. But it's in this part of our life cycle. Just don't have to switch out the body. But yeah, that part of me died. That would react to what you were coming at me with. And this, the Christ frequency, 3-3, it knows all that. So those techniques, they don't work anymore to get what you were accustomed to. So you're not who you were when I met you. Well, I would hope not. Fucking philandering and doing all this knucklehead shit, right? Because I have my bullshit. Yeah, I'm not that person. I corrected that. So this is the new me. And I have a channel where I discuss it because it's full disclosure, right? It's coming back. The government's going to disclose that they're aliens because that was us, that we were alienating ourselves from the joy that we have from interacting with each other. That's what aliens is all about. We could dream up all the other stuff on the set, but it's all about you and your emotional world. Alienation. That's where it is. That's where everything originates, is your physiology, your tissues, that emotion. And yeah, we can dream up all kinds of crazy shit out there. Planets and galaxies and no, but that's in your mind. You're dreaming that. That's where that is. And it's symbolic of what's going on in here. And I figured that out. It took me 40 years of wandering in the desert to figure that out. That's all that really exists, is your emotional body. And then it observes the world. And that observation is meant, after time, as you grow, to be pretty fucking amazing. It was the point. You're not supposed to suffer by what you're watching. Your children that you have are your joy and your pleasure. But we weren't protecting them because we were still watching the show. And then the kids are watching the show. Scaring themselves. So as a man, you step up and protect that and be the show for your children. The master manifestors are here. Trust me. I know. They don't give a shit about what you're worried about. Try explaining to your dog that, oh, you can't take him to the park anymore because there's a virus and COVID. And yeah, try that one on your pet. See how that goes down. No, they know. They can see through all the stuff that we've been manifesting. Like, and so that's why it was in the eyes, to expose that. It's to be healed. That's the emotional healing. And, there's a cat around here, and a couple people feed it, but it's free, man. It's a free agent. It's not somebody's cat. You don't own a cat. You can't own somebody else's life. That was another problem with all that. But this cat's just been watching me. He's beautiful. I'm like, it's me watching me, right? You can't bullshit them. And yeah, I would like to spend time with the little monker face. That's the most emotionally intelligent creature I have ever interacted with. That cat. She's the Buddha. And, we get each other. She loves me. Right? Angelica loves you more, and Monkerface loves me more. That's just the way it goes. In life. Those are your relationships. I'm not going to stop worrying about them. So anyway. Therapy. So that's my therapeutic message. Covered a few topics in there. Just go bust a corner. That's what I'm going through symbolically here. I just can't do it all at once. Don't worry about it. Thinking about something out there. Just right in your moment. Clean out the interior. If there's emotional relationship problem, that maybe think about it a little bit. Sit with it just a little bit longer. get that, you recognize that what you think is out there on the set, what your parents were doing to you, what you reacted to get emotionally wounded, you'd have done the exact same thing, because you're the same life. That's the revelation. That's why it's on the stage. That's what the revelation is. That you're the master manifester in the Word of God. But it takes a little bit of responsibility. Step up in there, and there's this crazy energetic work that occurs. So I'm just talking my way through that. So it makes sense for me. And I can go back and listen to this and say, oh, that's what I needed. I need someone to tell me what is going on. It's not just John Boy down here talking. Right? It's the whole thing, the whole organism now. So this is the way it comes out, and it shouldn't be a big deal. It's just my daily life, right? I mean, so anyway, yeah, I'll be in touch, and take a little camping trip tomorrow. I'm really, because when you're in nature, like nature is, you don't stop nature, right? Guys, we gotta mow the grass. It keeps coming. That's what it's represented of. You can trim it out for a minute, enjoy the angles, make it look sharp, nice sharp lines. But those are the sharp lines that are coming into our mental realm, because we're a living organism. But nature is never going to stop at that. But that's the real, your body's healing yourself, but nature is always going to do its thing. So, sign of the times. All right, I'm gonna jump up out here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Def, Jody, and I were going to do one fireside chat, so I have someone to interact with, back and forth. That might be a 4-hour one, podcast, right? Just lost in time. Like I couldn't listen to these guys, like just 4 hours. Mark Passio complaining about the government. Same message. Well, this is the same message too. But it's a little bit more interesting topic from my point of view, because you know that all those big boogeymen out there, that's when they're emotional icons, archetypes of what's going on in the real God. That's the only way they exist, because you're observing that, you're manifesting that. We're the gods. That's where God was this whole time. Do you need to go to church and believe what somebody else believes? No. Took care of that one. Because this doesn't make sense. It was the observer. That was the real God. Just took me this long to figure that out, and then try to begin to explain that. Responsibility, power, enjoyment. God likes to laugh. Really likes to laugh. And that's the greatest joy, right? The greatest medicine, healing, laughter. You can go read the books on that. I read them all. Just make them laugh, and they get better. They get healthier. So I'm going to make you laugh at yourself, at this game, and enjoy this life. That's my objective. Front and center. Good luck trying to, he's a problem, I'm going to go over here. You go over there, you get the same emotional thing, because that's you. You're manifesting your whole emotional realm. And those are the issues. And that's how to get at them. It's not what's out on the set. It's not your mother she's representative of that. But it wasn't her, because you would have done the same thing she did. If you don't heal it now, you'll end up doing that to your child, and then the cycle will just keep continuing. Bullshit. No. It's out of the court. It's a new age of Aquarius. This isn't the only human potential we have, capable of so many incredible things. When we love and we're not afraid of what we're watching out there, and not projecting that there's someone else out there doing something to you. It happened to me. I saw myself in my little room. I felt that emotion that I tucked away. I was like, oh, you know, but you are capable of feeling those emotions and making peace with that, with them. And it's the greatest thing you can do. It's all you can do. Or you can just project out there. My sister wants to tell me I'm a horrible person, trying to do all this stuff to her. Where's all that coming from? Where is all that coming from? Facebook Live. Better than Xanax. All right, well, catch up maybe a little bit later today. See what's going on. All right. What's up?